Okay, so you have to excuse the background noise here. So first of all, I want to thank Tzipora for being such an amazing, beautiful speaker, but also such a great sport for really last minute doing this. Thank you so much, Tzipora. And I want to give her the proper kavod, the proper introduction. Tzipora has Paris and her husband worked in outreach for 12 years as part of Aisha Torah in Manhattan. She helped create the Havas Yisrael project that inspired women to meet in small groups to grow and strengthen our love, respect, and unity for our fellow Jews. Over the past 30 years, Tzipora had the privilege to help Jewish women navigate difficult challenges, find clarity about important life decisions, access inner peace, and develop a deeper relationship with Hashem with classes and one-on-one coaching. Tzipora and her family just made Aliyah a year ago, and they live in Ramat Beit Shemesh. Her classes and short 5-minute audio messages can be found on www.torahanytime.com. So with that, I feel so privileged. Thank you so much. I'm going to take my face off and I'm going to give you Tzipora. Tzipora, are you here? Tzipora left?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, Nomi.
Okay, thank you.
Can I just tell you, you are so amazing. Like this is your life. Like you take the Nishmas wherever you go with your family. You're in America, you're in Israel. Thank you so much for really undertaking something so, so special, so precious. It's really a meeting of the hearts and a meeting of the souls where we come together and we show Hashem how much we care. And we care. So I thank every woman here who's here live and every woman who's seeing the recording for just being part of something exquisite that is so precious to Hashem. I have no doubt that when Hashem, looks to take great pleasure in what his children are doing, like the Nishmas is like in the Hall of Fame in Shemaim. So Yasher Koach, Hashem should continue to give you all the strength to do all this amazing, amazing bringing so much holiness and merits and protection to Klal Yisrael. Okay, so yeah, I had some time to prepare for today. I'm very excited. And thank you, Nomi, for this opportunity and really an honor. I want to invite you to listen to just the right, gentle message that is what supports you in your life at this moment, in your journey. And we learn that you can't fight darkness with darkness. Jewish wisdom teaches us in Gemara and Kedushin, the response to darkness is to bring good into this world. The response to darkness is to be a light. And every one of us has a special, unique light, that there wasn't such a light from the beginning of time till the end of days, just your special divine spark that Hashem put inside of you. Your special Tselem Elohim, your divine image. And it's something that as we make our efforts to find and shine our light, we bring this beautiful special light into our relationship with ourselves, our relationship with other people, and our relationship with Hashem. Through our Torah wisdom that we learn, the prayers that we express to Hashem, and the acts of kindness that we do amongst each other. So Hanukkah is a very special reminder of this. So there's a famous question, right? We celebrate 8 days because when the Maccabees finally were able to come to the Holy Temple, the Beis HaMikdash, they found it in shambles. It was desecrated. It was contaminated. It was defiled. And they actually finally found a small flask of oil that had just enough pure oil to last for 1 day, and the miracle happened that it lasted for another 7 days until they were able to get pure oil once again. So really, the miracle was for 7 days, and it's a very famous question. Why is it that we celebrate for 8 if the miracle was 7 days? So one of the answers is like this. Imagine you come to a situation in your life that it looks like all is lost. There is nothing else that can be done. There is no hope. And to still have hope and look for light, that's a miracle. That's lemala min hateva. That's above nature. To really hope, to have hope in myself, to have hope in my relationships, to have hope for a better life, to have hope for a better future for the Jewish people. That is a Jewish quality that Hanukkah comes and reminds us, yes, that small light is very hidden right now. But I want you to take this opportunity of Hanukkah, Hashem tells us, and strengthen that knowledge that no matter how hopeless a situation can look, there is hope. And the beautiful thing is that the more we remind ourselves of this, the more there is that light that gets stronger and stronger. So we are living in times that are very dark. So it is very normal and natural that we are going to be confronted daily, sometimes several times a day, with a very thick darkness. It's normal. We're going to notice that things are just not okay in the world, right? I mean, that's an understatement, right? Outrageous, not normal anti-Semitism, a complete lack of moral compass by leaders and institutions that are like beyond words. But we also see things that are upsetting about myself, upsetting about the people in my life. We're living through like very dysregulating times. You know, I don't know if you remember Corona, but like when you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow and you don't know what's going to happen this year, it's very destabilizing, and different people respond differently to dysregulation. So some people just really slow down and like they can't move, and some people speed up, but they're not necessarily doing the things that are actually the most important things for themselves. They're just keeping themselves busy. Everyone does what they can with like a really not normal situation. So it's normal to notice things that are wrong with myself, things that are wrong with other people, things that are wrong, so to speak, with the way that God runs this world, chas v'shalom. And it's normal to be impacted by this darkness. The question is this: how can I respond in a way that will bring light to the situation? How can I shine my brightest light and bring hope and hopefulness and expand a space of light in the world? When I notice something wrong, instead of turning to the judgment, can I turn away from the judgment and energize divine mercy? What do I mean? I'll give you an example. So some very, very famous examples are when Hashem tells Avram Avinu, go from your land to a new place. You'll see a little bit of unknown over there, and it's all going to be good over there. Meaning, go, and this is lech lecha. It's going to be good for you, Hashem says to Abraham. Now, Abraham arrives in Eretz Yisrael, and right then and there, there's the first famine in history in this land, and he's forced to go to Egypt, and he's afraid that they're going to kill him, God forbid, and they kidnap his wife, and she's taken, and he doesn't know what's going to happen. It really doesn't look like a lot of light. It really doesn't feel very stabilizing. And instead of turning to judgment, Hashem, God, how could you do this to me? Like, you told me one thing, and this is a different experience. He turned towards energizing divine compassion. Hashem, in this situation, there is a great opportunity for compassion. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm just really opening myself up. I'm totally open to the possibility. Hashem, you have infinite ways to make this turn out in the best possible way. And sure enough, because he went to Egypt, because Sarah was abducted, Hashem had the opportunity to make Abraham known because Paro's, because of their faith in God. Sarah's the entire palace of Paro was afflicted with saras, and in order to get out of the situation, Paro gave Abraham incredible riches. So now he is known and revered and feared and respected in the entire region from being an unknown immigrant. Overnight, he is this most celebrated personality. So Hashem all along knew that the darkness is only a pathway to light. It's just that we don't know it. And the journey is long, right? We have the story of Yosef. So his brothers throw in a pit, they sell him to be a slave. He suffers bitterly, and not just a little bit, but for a long time, years. And he's thrown into jail. He spends from 18 to 30 there. That's 12 long years of darkness. And instead of turning to judgment, how could they do this to me? What kind of brothers are they? Whatever curses should come upon them, God forbid. He turned towards divine mercy. God, whatever you do has a divine purpose. And it is all part of your great plan. They are only messengers. You are the source of everything, and I'm holding on to you for dear life. And this is not an easy thing, but we have it in our DNA to be able to see the darkness for what it is, which is an opportunity to turn away from judgment and turn towards divine compassion. And the last example that I think about is Rabbi Akiva. So everybody knows that he became observant. He started learning Hebrew and learning Torah at age of 40. And we also know that at age of 65, after 24 years, everything that he had given everything to build, 24,000 students, completely destroyed. They all died. Can you imagine? Like, what did I do wrong? Like, how could I have done this? How could this have come through me? I'm the messenger of such devastation for the entire Jewish nation. The loss of lives and the loss of Torah, like the self-accusation you could only imagine. And instead of turning into self-judgment, he turned to divine mercy. God, help me pick up the pieces and start over. And all the Torah that we have today are from the 5 students of Rabbi Akiva that he started after complete failure, so to speak, right? Obviously, everything was part of a divine plan. So when I notice something wrong, I have an opportunity to turn away from judgment and towards divine mercy. I like to say, when I notice something wrong, I focus on what I want. When you notice something wrong, focus on what you want. What do you want? I want a life that I love in the service of God. I want salvation for the entire Jewish people. I want the deepest healing, the most expansive revelation. I want personal redemption. I want global redemption. That energizes so much light in the world. And we see this in Hanukkah. How do we see this? So we're facing, this is my little arts and crafts project I did just before. We're facing a darkness in the world. And on the first night of Hanukkah, we light one little candle. Instead of focusing on the whole darkness, I focus on a little light. And then the next night, another little light. And the more I energize compassion and light and divine light, the more divine light there is in the world. More and more and more in my life. And I want to be really open that Hashem should allow me to find this light and shine it within myself, within my home and the people in my life, and within the world, in my own small part, whatever my part is that Hashem designated for me. Now in Hanukkah, we're meant to gaze at the light. We're meant to look at these lights, little lights flickering. And our sages teach us that there's a really powerful opportunity here. That when Hashem created the world, he created a magnificent, brilliant light, an Or Haganuz. And it was taken away, it was hidden for the tzaddikim for the end of days, for the world to come. But we can tap into it by looking at the Hanukkah lights. These lights can heal the impact of anything negative, any negative images that our eyes have seen in our lifetime. And it can really heal also any negative perspective that we took on. So sometimes we look at life negatively. Sometimes we look at other people negatively. Sometimes we look at ourselves negatively. It makes a lot of sense. We're living at very difficult times. But to look at these lights and say, Hashem, heal me, heal everything. Heal my perspective. Allow me to look at the, to look at the light, because I am not my darkness and you are not your darkness, and Hashem's world is not dark. So how do I find my own brilliant light? So I have 10 words that we could say. You could say it in as long as you want, of course, but 10 words. Hashem, please help me find and shine my light gently. I don't want to shine my light in the way that rolls over other people. I don't want to shine in my light in which that like compromises my well-being. I want to shine it gently and beautifully into the world. And I need Hashem's help. So what I do when I look at the candles on Hanukkah, I actually squint a little bit. And you could try this. It works really well if you have tears in your eyes, but even if you don't have tears in your eyes, it still works. If you squint, you can actually see a line from the candle right to your heart. And I love doing this because I'm asking Hashem, fill me with your light. You know, they have this It's a beautiful idea that when you go into an instrument store and you pluck one instrument, the vibration for one instrument awakens the vibrations of other instruments. Like you pluck one violin, the other violins start playing. It's an amazing thing. We are each a spark of a divine light. We are each a spark of Hashem. When we plug into Hashem's light, it allows us to strengthen our own vibration, to remember who we really are, to connect to the deepest, deepest places beyond the darkness that we experience. And we want to strengthen that. And Hanukkah is a time that we can strengthen that for the whole year. When Yaakov Avinu had a dream not so long ago in the Parsha, he saw a ladder and Hashem says, don't be afraid, don't fear, because I will be with you. He wakes up in the morning. He goes on to Lavan, and on the way, he's attacked by Esav's son, and he loses everything. He's only left with his staff, right? All his money, all his possessions, barely his life, right? He had to negotiate for his life. Wait a minute, what happened? Last night, Hashem said, don't worry, everything's going to be okay. So what happened today? I heard this from Rav Hillel Weinberg, of Noach Weinberg's son. Hashem mavtiach ve'Hashem mekayem. God promises and he will fulfill his promise. But there is a journey. And the journey actually allows us to discover who we are. Underneath the layer, Hashem shows each one of us to come at the end of days, and Hashem chose well. He chose very carefully. Each one of us, a beautiful spark from a divine place that is so high. Each soul is 500 times brighter than the sun. But there's a journey. Because we come into this world covered up, our light is covered, and we are meant to go through a process of discovering, uncovering the light and shining what we have. And it's not an easy process. Many of you know the story of Rabashkin and how he says in his book is really an amazing Chizuk Be'emunah, strengthening in our faith. He says in the book, I was not imprisoned by evil forces, even though it really looked like that. He was falsely accused and he was persecuted in ways that are so anti-Semitic and outrageous, really. But he says, no, I was on a temporary mission by Hashem to fulfill my potential and illuminate the world. And that he surely did. 8 years in prison and the process before and the process after have really brought a tremendous chizuk to our Jewish people. An unusual story in our days. Hashem chose you, and Hashem chose well. He gave you a light, and we can ask Hashem to show us, to help us tune in to what that looks like in these really, really intense times. What is it? We might not hear it from the people around us. We might be witnessed by others, but we don't need to wait for that, because Hashem himself can show us through our personal contemplation and reflection. He has infinite ways to help us get the clarity that we need about who we really are and what is the light that we're meant to shine. And you can ask yourself questions. I actually have 15 questions if anyone wants. You can email me. I'll put my email in the chat. 613. Wait, could someone write this down? Raina, do you mind? 613tharris@gmail.com, and I could send you these 15 questions to connect to a deeper clarity about who you really are. What is it that gives me the most stability? What is it that gives me the most vitality and energy? What is it that I connect to that gives me the most inner peace? Menuchat nefesh. When do I feel most connected? And when do I feel most centered? These are just questions to connect us deeper and deeper. I've been really, really fascinated by this topic of clarifying our unique divine mission. So I spent a long time on it. And I've actually edited. I got deeper and deeper. And just this war 6 weeks ago, I got even deeper, a clarity and insight into what it is, who it is Hashem wants me to be in this lifetime, and what it is that I'm meant to do here. So this is not something that you need to get clarity right away, but it's something to really explore gently, with yearning, with longing. Hashem, I really want to be the brightest light that you brought me here to be. And everyone has their own unique, distinguished light No one can take anyone's light away. You have all the time in the world. I mean, Mashiach is coming, no pressure, but you have all the time in the world at your own pace to discover this, because this is not a competition. This is our own individually very special space, sacred space with Hashem. And there's also resources. Thank God, if you have a safe person in your life that can witness and help you really connect to who you are, that's an incredible gift. There's Jewish learning about these topics. I'm actually hoping to have a special class on this after Hanukkah. It's going to be on Torah Anytime in Mitzvah Hashem. And certainly there are people who individually can help you do this. What I wanted to end with is this. Rav Kook has a beautiful quote that says, every person has a flame inside of them. And Hashem wants us to make that flame greater and greater and turn into a great torch, a unique torch, and light up the whole world. So I want to just give you like in imagery, imagine Hashem telling you can close your eyes if you want. Imagine Hashem telling you this. My dearest, most precious child, I put you on a journey where your unique, magnificent essence is really covered up. And this magnificent essence of the people in your life are also covered up. But you are not the coverings. You are beautiful. You're exalted. You're intrinsically lovable. You're intrinsically worthy. You are forever precious to me. And I want to help you find your special mission. I want to help you shine your exquisite light. Keep turning to me. I'm here for you forever. Hashem should help us tap into the beautiful, glorious light of His great love for us through Hanukkah and throughout the entire year. May we merit great Yeshuas, great salvations. Thank you very much, Nomi.
Oh,
Wow.
Thank you. That was gorgeous. That was so beautiful. That was you just brought so much light to us. So much. I love your words. I want to hear them over and over again. We really are grateful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was just magnificent.
Thank you.
Such a pleasure. Thank you.
Tzipora, maybe it's Nomi. I'm underground. So I don't know if you can hear me.
You're amazing.
Yes, we can
I'm
hear you.
I want to come back and to even delve deeper into this. I would love you to do that. Would you be willing to come back and go even deeper into this concept of what you brought up that was so gorgeous?
With pleasure. It's a pleasure. Really, it's my own healing. So I love to share it with others. And if anyone is interested, I have a WhatsApp chat that I post every once in a while, not every week. That
So
are just gentle messages. Okay.
Please post it. Everybody gets access to it.
I don't know how.
One question.
I'm going to post it on the. I'm also going to post it, Tzipora, on the WhatsApp group. So post it now, and then.
Okay, I'm gonna. I don't know how to do that. I'm gonna send it to you. Okay.
Okay. Perfect.
Great.
Perfect. I think we have a question.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Can you just repeat the 10 words again?
Yes, sure.
Thank you.
Hold on, I have it highlighted here. Hashem, please help me find and shine my light gently. But really, when you speak from your heart, you just say what comes, from deep inside.
Is there any other questions? Any other questions for Tzipora? Okay, Tzipora, it was absolutely gorgeous. You're gorgeous.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing beautiful healing with us and such beautiful words and such Torah in your soul. Thank you, Tzipora.
It is so really gorgeous. Such an honor. I feel uplifted. I feel like everything is holier now that I was part of Nishmat.
Wow.
It's so amazing. You guys are incredible.